Good morning and welcome to Story Path here on the Chancel Steps. You're joined here by my buddy Sweater Bear, who's going to be sharing our story with us today. And Sweater Bear, did you know back in the time of Jesus, and it had been some time now since Easter, and his disciples, those were the people that followed him, well, they were feeling rather sad because Jesus was no longer with them. And so they went back to their hometown, and when they were there, they did the one thing that they felt most comfortable doing, and that was they went fishing. That's right, Sweater Bear, they went fishing. They went out on the sea, and they were out there all night long, not catching anything. No matter how much they tried, Sweater Bear, they just couldn't do it. And then, as the morning light happened, they saw a figure on the beach. That's right. And as they got closer, they realized that it was somebody they might just know. The stranger looked out at them and he yelled, "Hey, did you catch any fish?" And of course they hadn't. And the stranger said to them, "Throw your net on the other side." They looked at each other and they thought, this is crazy. Why would we do that? But something made them do it. And when they did, they caught so much fish that they couldn't even put it all into their boat. Well, Peter realized who it was. And so he jumped out of that boat and swam to shore, realizing that it was Jesus. A little while later, Jesus took some of that fish and he made a meal for all of them. And there, in that moment, because Peter had been feeling kind of badly, he'd not let people know just how important Jesus was to him. He actually had told people he didn't even know them, and he was feeling very guilty about this. But this was a life-changing moment for him. And Jesus said to him, "Do you love me, Peter?" And Peter said, "Jesus, you know I do." "Well then, Peter, go and show everyone you meet, in the same way I show love to you, that you can show love to others." And that reminded me of the story that we're sharing today, Sweater Bear. This is called The Stray Dog by Mark Simond. And this is actually a story that is written about a true story by Rico Sassa. This is a story about a dog who has no home. And then at a very special moment, at a special picnic, his life is transformed, it's changed, just like Peter and the disciples' lives. So, Sweater Bear, should we share our story with our friends at home? It was a great day for a picnic. "What's this?" asked the father. "It's a scruffy little dog," said the mother. "He looks hungry," said the girl. "I think he wants to play," said the boy. The children played with him and taught him to sit up. They named him Willie. They kept playing until it was time to go home. "Let's take Willie home," said the children. "No," said the father. "He must belong to somebody," explained the mother, "and they would miss him." On the way home, the girl said, "Maybe Willie doesn't belong to anybody." During the week, all the family had Willie on their minds. "Willie!" they all cried when he appeared. But Willie didn't stop. Willie was in a big hurry. "He has no collar. He has no leash," said the dog warden. "This dog is a stray. He doesn't belong to anybody." The boy took off his belt. "Here's his collar," he said. The girl took off her hair ribbon. "Here's his leash," she said. "His name is Willie, and he belongs to us." They took Willie home, and after that, they introduced him to the neighborhood, where he met some very interesting dogs. And Willie settled in where he belonged. What a wonderful story that was about Willie the stray dog. How he'd gone from having nothing to having a place to live and a family and people to love him. His life had been changed that day at the park at the picnic. And in the same way that the disciples' lives too had been changed, so dramatically changed, and they were reminded of that the day on the beach, gathered around the fire, sharing a simple meal that Jesus had prepared for them. I wonder, can you think of a special meal where you were gathered with friends, family, that was life-changing for you? That something happened at that meal that made things different for you. I leave you to think about that this week. Thanks for joining me on our story path. Subscribe on YouTube so that you don't miss the next story on StoryPath.